Hello everyone and welcome to my class to continue with the second theme of class 12 history, kings, farmers and towns. We are covering time period from 600 BCE to 600 CE. Important time period from Indian history point of view. In this video, I will be discussing about towns and trade. Till so far, we have in my previous video, I have discussed about the importance of copper plate inscriptions, giving detail about the land grants made during the times of Guptas. Right now, this was 600 BCE to 600 CE. This was a time period when there was not only the emergence of big empires were taking place, but there were emergence of big cities also. Right. uh, uh, Big centers of big urban centers. Remember in the first chapter, we have discussed about Harappan civilization as an urban center. Then after Harappa, there was a time period when urbanization, that element was missing in the civilization or in the societies that formed in India. Now from 600 BC to 600 CE, this was again a time period when emergence of various urban centers took place, emergence of big cities took place, and most of these cities were those which were the capitals of the Mahajanpads, right? And these cities are located on, they have some strategic locations. It was probably the capital cities. It was probably situated on main trading routes or land routes, important land routes, or riverine routes, near to the riverine routes. So that gave them more importance, since they were strategically located on important trade and communication routes. Right, here are some of the example. Ujjaini is located on important trade route. Then Fuar is near to the coast, which shows that probably the coastal region, those kingdoms which were having coastal regions, they probably used their coast for doing sea trades. Right, this was a time period when we see a connection of Romans doing trade with Indian rulers. Right, so Fuhar emerged. Fuhar is located on the coast, and it emerged as an important trading center. Then Mathura, trading and port center. Then Mathura is again an important big city which emerged as a cultural and commercial center. Probably used material or the goods were brought by traders at this center, and they used to sell. It was an important market for them. Right, it was centrally located. Right, so these are certain examples of the important big cities that emerged during that time. One very prominent name was of Patliputra. Patliputra actually grew from a small village. It was earlier known as Patligram. It was during the 5th century when the Magadhan rulers they shifted their capital from Rajgriha to Patliputra, and they built a capital city there, and they renamed it as Patliputra. Right, earlier it was Patligram. Right, so they made their capital there in Patliputra, and since then it started growing as an important center. During the time of Mauryan period, it emerged as one of the largest city in Asia. Right, so this city has seen a very glorious time. But during the 7th century BC, when a Chinese traveler Zhuangzang visited India, he visited Patliputra. He found it in ruins. Means this city in the 7th century had declined. Right, and no such large population was found by him. So this is the case of Patliputra. Now talking about the urban population, king in urban population we include the people who were in high authorities like the king. So such rulers, the kings or the people of importance, They used to live in fortified cities. Their capitals were usually fortified for defensive point of view, for their security, right? And in these cities, how can we say that these were the urban center? Because many different type of materials have been found, and mostly precious material. An important range of material were like gold, silver, copper, bronze, ivory, glass, etc. These materials are found. Products made of these important materials have been found here. Then an important feature was of northern black polished ware pottery found in these cities. Northern black polish ware pottery is a fine quality pottery, and painted with glazed colors are found in these cities, which again shows that these were the luxurious product, not uh, not used by the common people, probably used by the people who were rich. So such products shows that the people living in these cities were economically sound enough um, to avail these products, who have their access to these products, such costly products, right? Now during this time, we found around 2nd century BCE votive inscriptions are found. Which votive inscriptions are usually the inscriptions which are uh, generally written for see, we have discussed about the land grant inscriptions, where the king is giving donation to other people. Votive inscriptions are those inscriptions which are usually written or written account or written inscriptions which are the things donated to the religious institutions, right? Particularly to the religious institutions. So donation made to the religious institutions, their detail in the written form, in the form of inscriptions, are called votive inscriptions. And it was during the 2nd century BCE that these votive inscriptions were written during that time. So it gives detail about the urban population in the cities. Like they have mentioned about the different occupation, people engaged in different occupation. In big cities, carpenters, goldsmiths, blacksmiths, religious teachers were present there. So multiple people engaged in multiple occupations shows a complex society there, right? Since there was demand of these things, so people opted for different occupations, right? And these inscriptions also tells us about the guilds and the shrenis. Guilds usually at that time were called shrenis. Now the organization of craft persons or the traders. These shrenis, probably they procured raw material. Their function was procuring raw material from different regions, then regulate the production, whatever the productions done by the craft person, different craft persons. Then finally, when the goods were prepared, they used to marketed it in different regions, these finished goods, selling these finished goods. So all these activities were performed by the shrenis or the guilds, right? This is also the information about guilds are also mentioned in these inscriptions. Now when the production is done on a large scale, it requires more tools, it requires fine tools. So this was, since we have already discussed, this was a time period when iron was already discovered. So it was there is a probability that people or craft persons might be using these iron tools on a wide range, right? So that they can produce more goods on a large scale, right? So these are the probabilities. These are the probably the type of society, urban society existing during that time, which are the information about these societies are we got the historians got from different inscriptions, right? So this is all about the new big cities that emerged during that time, and what type of urban population living there in these big cities. Hope you like it. Please like, share and review and subscribe my channel. Thank you.